Okay, here's the first of many updates on the green 106 that I'm working on, Electrola. First off, a big shout out to Wywot, W-Y-W-O-T, the viewer who suggested that instead of importing feet for these things, the little rubber bumpers that go in these, from the UK, they could be made with a glue gun. Well, I looked into it, and it turns out that yes, they can be made very easily with a glue gun. Now, I'm just learning to do this. I'm not a crafter, so I don't have a familiarity with things like glue guns or glitter or whatever. So I'm kind of feeling my way through this, but that looks a lot better than previous solutions I've come up with. And I discovered glue sticks come in a wide variety of colors. This was the darkest green I was able to find, and it doesn't look too bad. In fact, that is actually closer to the original color of this material in 1935. So I'll show you in a minute a little swatch of that I have underneath here. So that is a biggie, and this did not cost a lot of money. I think I paid like $9 for this little simple device. You stick the glue stick in the back, you hit the trigger, and you can create with it. I'm learning how. My first effort here is, that's a little sloppy. I'm gonna have to remake that probably. But you can remelt these. Get the tip hot and just smooth it out, and it actually does work. So I can remake that. I couldn't do the other side here yet because I have some patchwork to do there. I'm gonna have to glue that joint there. You see, the joint is loose. That's not a big deal. It's the only one on the machine that is. So that's just a matter of clamping. We'll take care of that. And then I will patch in as much as I can of the missing material. I do have some material that's close. I mean, for one thing, Electrola used a much darker green than was used in the UK for the HMB 102s made there. And it's also aged. It's darkened with age. So it's going to be very hard to perfectly match that. But I'm going to put something there because this looks like crap the way it is. I got some of this, which is like a very dark mossy green material. It's a vinyl type material with a similar pebble grain look to it. So I'm going to just patch in a little bit there, and then I will make that foot. And I have to do some wood repair on the bottom. A couple pieces had to be removed in order to get the horn out so that I could fix the lid stay. That was loose. Can't have that. Let's see. You see a lot of the parts here now. It's mostly, if a motor's not apart yet, that's got to come apart for cleaning. This is the tag that is under. It is underneath the motor. Not the motorboard. I'm sorry. Underneath the turntable. Model LB106. I guess that must be the serial number of 3,275. This is actually just screwed between the front and the rear parts of the motorboard. Like the 101, this has a two-piece motorboard, as you can see. It's all numbered too. The assembly number is 179. That's been on there since 1935, and it's still there. Is there one on the other one? It probably is. If not, there is on the machine. Yeah, there you go. Is that a 9 or a 4? Can't really tell. It's okay either way. That lets me wipe down a little bit. What problems did I find? Other than this, obviously we knew about that already. The loose lid stay bracket, which necessitates the removal of the horn. Let me tell you, it's not easy to get the horn out of a 101. It's bricked in there pretty good. But I did manage to get it out. Had to take some of the wood pieces off. They're going to have to be re-glued once I put the horn back in. And all that just to tighten up 2 screws. That's it. Just to tighten 2 screws. Couldn't get them any other way. The horn was in the way of them. But without them, the lid stay is flopping around, and can't have that because it won't close properly, and all the rest. Let's see. I did take the hinge out. The hinge has a few issues. Where did I see the damage? Mostly. Not really damaged so much on this end. It's slightly bent over here. It's hard to see, but there is somebody, you see it a little better there, how it's been kind of elongated and bent outward, and we'll straighten that up. If not, I will simply replace the hinge. I do have a 106 parts machine, which is probably harder to find than a good 106 in this country. I'm sure overseas they're all over the place, but here they are hen's teeth, pretty much. I mean, a 102 and other HMV models are hard to find over here. Never mind the Electrola models. You know, they are very, very rare to find. Anyway, I took care of that, and now that's the results of my experimenting with the glue gun idea. Thank you. Thank you very much for letting me know about that before I spent probably $50 or $60 importing a bunch of those little buttons from the UK, as I plan to do. Not just for this machine. I need them on a black machine. I need them on a couple of black 102s, actually. I need them on a couple of red, two. A red 106 and a red 102. And I've discovered, like I said, these glue sticks come in every color of the rainbow. Look at that. Red right there. Plus I got some extra, a little bit darker red. There's enough red sticks there to do about 50 of these machines. So I'm not going to run out anytime soon. And if I do, there's more on Amazon. So that project is a success. Here's the brand new spring that's going to go in this. This is a spring for a Victor Victrola, the 4th, 1918 to 1920. That's when they went to the pear-shaped hole on the outside and the bent end in the middle, as you can see it right there. See the bent end? Exactly the same size, perfect. 1 inch wide and about 15 feet long, which is perfect for the 106 and the 102 and the later 101s. The earlier 101s and the 100s have like a 9-foot spring. I have a couple of those too, and I would have used one if I had to, but because they also fit in these. But I want full power out of it, so I have that. What other little surprises did I find? I had not seen anything wrong yet with the speed control. Everything seems to be okay on it. Everything's moving properly. The block is slightly worn there, but nothing out of the ordinary. Don't know. Might just be a matter of adjustment. That spring. I don't know what's going on with that spring. You see the spring there? Looks like somebody... I don't know. That looks a little oddball. Maybe that's the issue. I don't know. But I'll get that taken care of. That's not a big deal. Figure it out somehow. From what I recall from the last one of those I worked on, they're really not that difficult to figure out. And of course, this is the Electrola motor. Exactly the same as the ones used in the last version of the 101 and the 102s. It's right there. This one has the difference of saying Electrola right on it. And it also has an all brass. Look at that governor. All brass body on there, just like the Victors do. So that's nice. Now these, unlike the HMV versions, have a fiber gear in them. See it? It's in good shape here, but you want to be careful with that. Clean it carefully if you ever have one of these, and powder it with graphite. Don't put liquid oil on there. Powder it with graphite powder. You can get it on Amazon, eBay, other places. I mean, it doesn't look horribly dirty. Somebody has been playing with this in the past. I've discovered numerous indicators for that. A lot of weirdly bent screws. The wrong screws holding down the motorboard. So it's a good thing I have that parts machine. All the motorboard screws were wrong. Somebody had probably lost them or had loose ones, and so they just replaced them with stuff like this. This is not an HMV or Electrola motorboard screw. This is like something from your hall closet door. So we'll take care of that. I'll get that straightened out. I have also some spare, some HMVs I could use too. I have several HMV parts machines, mostly 101s, but the screws will be the same. I'll probably have to tighten up some of the screw holes in there. Again, normal stuff, not a big deal. I'll be able to get that done fairly easily. And all of this is going to have to be disassembled and cleaned. There's a lot of work to be done here. I'm going to be working on this for the better part of a month, off and on. Now that the weather has turned nice again, like 71 degrees and lower humidity today. Very nice weather. The sun is out. So I'm getting a few things done and getting this project at least started. But the motor does work, so I'm not worried about that. I know it doesn't have any problems that really require too much, except for a majorly dry spring, as you heard in the last video when I tested this. Let's see. Oh, I was going to show you that little piece of green material. This is the horn, by the way. Just like a 101. It's like a 101 horn. Those pieces of felt were underneath that horn inside this cabin. Not sure if they were put there by somebody or what, but I will put them back. This is the bracket over here that had the loose screws. The horn goes right here. You can see a ghost of it in the dust. And you don't get to that without taking the horn out. Okay. This. See that color green? That is the original 1935 green. Very, very dark green. I wonder if I can get that through this way a little bit and see it better. See the difference in the color? How darkened on the outside this is, but that is still brand new because it was protected under the motorboard. So it's very hard to match something that's been age darkened like this. But I'll do what I can. Whatever I do, it's going to look better than what it is now. So let's get that out of the way. Can't put that back in there yet because I got to glue what fell out. Oh yeah, these little pieces here. These little pieces go over here in the corners where the bumpers are, and somebody screwed a rubber washer in there with a brass screw. They managed to weirdly bend the brass screws. See if I could find one over here. I don't know if I threw them away or if they're still here. I don't know if this is one of the bent. Oh, yes, it is. How bent that is. It's all buggered up and broken. But they screwed this up. They hit that block, and instead of screwing into the block, it just pushed it loose. Just broke its glue and pushed it up. So now I have to re-glue it. Not a big deal. Minor clamp job, a little bit of glue, and it's in there. All it does is stiffen up the case a little bit. That's really it. You could probably get away without them, but they're going back in, both of them. There's one there and one over here in this corner. The ones in these corners did not break. I don't know why, but they didn't. Of course, I had to take out the needle tray to reach some of the screws that held on the block that was here, so I can get, well, I had to do it anyway, get the horn out. There's the assembly number down there again. And that's pretty much it. That's the update for now. You know, work is progressing. But this is what it looks like once you start taking these things apart. There's a lot more pieces than you would think for a portable machine.